Welcome to Learn Yourself. Autotrophic nutrition. So autotrophs are using the carbon dioxide and water, and these two things they are converting into carbohydrates, and they are using chlorophyll and sunlight into this. Now whatever carbohydrates which are not used immediately, they'll get stored into the leaves into the form of starch. Now food we eat is stored in our body in form of glycogen. So this is a basic difference between leaves and our body system, that our body stores starch in form of glycogen, whereas the plants will store carbohydrates in form of starch when they are not using them. Now this is an equation that you have to remember, that when 6 molecules of carbon dioxide will react with 12 molecules of water in presence of chlorophyll and sunlight, these two will get converted into glucose, oxygen and water. Now the steps of photosynthesis. These are the three main steps in the photosynthesis process. That first, absorption of light energy by chlorophyll. So this is a function of chlorophyll. Then second, conversion of light energy to chemical energy, and splitting of water molecule into hydrogen and oxygen. What is this? This is a water molecule and it will get splitted into a hydrogen and water molecule. So that is how the splitting will happen, and light energy, the sunlight, will get converted into chemical energy. And the third step is reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrates. Reduction means from the carbohydrates the oxygen removal will happen and the hydrogen addition will happen, and it will get converted into carbohydrates. So this process is a reduction. So three things will happen in photosynthesis. First, light energy will get absorbed by chlorophyll, then light energy will convert into chemical energy and it will split the water molecule. Then third, reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrates. Now these steps need not take place one after the other immediately. It will happen whenever it is necessary. Step by step, this all the three things will not happen immediately. It will happen where and all it will necessary. So about this point, we are going to discuss more when we are going to learn about desert plant. Now let us learn some specific things about desert plant, that they take up carbon dioxide at night and prepare intermediate which is acted upon by the energy absorbed by chlorophyll during the day. Now chlorophyll is absorbing energy during the day, but it will absorb the carbon dioxide at night. So they will absorb the carbon dioxide at night, they will keep it to themselves, and then the further second step will happen in the day. And that's why we have discussed this in the previous slide, that all the three steps of photosynthesis will not happen one after another. It will happen as and when it will require. Now why this is a difference in desert plant? Because when this plant will take carbon dioxide, it also removes some of the water from the leaves. These are the stomata pores. When it is absorbing carbon dioxide, it is also leaving some of the water. Now for desert plant, water is very important. So if the stomata pore will open in the night time, then they will remove very less water, because at night time the temperature will be very less. So to prevent the transpiration water loss, they will absorb the carbon dioxide at night, and further processes in the presence of sunlight, that they will do it in the daytime. So in the cross section of leaf under microscope, some cells contain green dots. These green dots are the organelles and they are known as chloroplast. We have learned this in 9th standard, that chromoplast are having the chloroplast which are green in color, and they are having chlorophyll into them. This chlorophyll is absorbing the energy, but this chlorophyll work at the daytime, and the stomata will absorb the carbon dioxide at night time. Why they are doing so? To prevent water loss. Now let us understand how do plants take up their nutrition. So water from the soil by the roots in terrestrial plants. What all terrestrial plants are there? They are absorbing water from the soil via their roots. Now nitrogen, phosphorus, iron and magnesium. These four are very important nutrients for the plant and they are absorbing it from the soil. Now nitrogen is an essential element used in synthesis of protein and other compound in the plant. They are taking up this nutrition in the form of inorganic nitrites or nitrates, or it is taken up as an organic compound which have been prepared by bacteria from atmosphere. Nitrogen's absorption mode is little different compared to other nutrition because they are only absorbing nitrogen in the form of nitrates or nitrites, and these two compounds they are getting it from the organic compound or from the bacteria. Now let us understand the function of stomata, that opening and closing of stomata. Stomata, which are tiny pores present on the surface of the leaves. So they are tiny holes, and what is its function? The massive amount of gasial exchange take place in the leaves through these pores for the purpose of photosynthesis. Gasial exchange. What is the meaning of gasial exchange? Gasial exchange means the carbon dioxide absorption and oxygen removal into the atmosphere. This is a gasial exchange. This both process will happen via stomata pores. But the exchange of gases also occurs across the surface of the stem, roots, leaves as well. Large amount of water can also be lost through this stomata, so the plant closes these pores when it does not need the carbon dioxide for the photosynthesis. So this is the reason that why these pores are not open throughout the day. Whenever they require gases, these pores will get open, and whenever they don't require it, these pores will get closed, because this pores also leaves major amount of water into the atmosphere. So continuous water loss is harmful for the plant. So this should not happen, and because of that, the opening and closing of stomata pore is very important. Now who will do this? The guard cell will do this. That whenever it will required, it will open the pore, and whenever it is not required, it will close the pore. So the opening and closing of pore is a function of guard cell. The guard cell swells when the water flow into them. Here you can see that into the figure that these are the guard cells, and it will swell. You can see it here, the shape, it has been changed because of the swelling of the guard cell. When the water flows into them, causing the stomatal pore to open, and as you can see, this is a pore and it has opened because of the swelling of the guard cell. Now when the water will rushes out, here there is no water and there is no swelling. Here there is no water, no swelling, and so pore is not open, it is closed. And here the pore is open. So whenever the water will rushes in, this guard cell will get swell up and the pore will get open. But whenever they don't require any gasial exchange, the water will rush out, no swelling, and the pores will get closed, and it will prevent the water loss. Similarly, the pores closes if guard cell shrink. That means there will be no water. So that is how the guard cell will prevent the water loss from the leaves. Now comes the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Now fungi like bread molds, yeast and mushroom, they will break down the food material outside the body and then they will absorb it. So this is the difference, that they'll first break down the food material that happen outside their body and then they will absorb the nutrition from that. Some other organisms derive nutrition from plant or animal without killing them. This parasitic nutritive strategy is used by wide variety of organisms like cascata, which we call amarbail in Hindi, and ticks, leeches, lice and tapeworms. So all these parasites will absorb the nutrition from the host, but they will keep them alive. They will not kill them, so that they'll keep on getting the nutrition from the host organism. Now under heterotrophic mode of nutrition, we are going to discuss two specific cases. That first is amoeba's case, and second is Parameecium case. Now, single cell organisms in which amoeba takes in food using temporary finger-like extension of the cell surface which fuse over the food particle, forming a food vacuoles. Now, as we can see into the figure that this is a food particle, then it will extend its pseudopodia. Pseudopodia means false arm, and then it will take the food particle into its cytoplasm, and then it will engulf it. The inside the food vacuole, complex substances are broken down into simpler one, which then diffuse into cytoplasm. So this is the method by which it will absorb the food particle. First it will come into the food vacuole, then complex substance will break down into simpler one, and then it will get absorbed into cytoplasm. The remaining undigested material is moved to the surface of the cell and it will get thrown out of the organism's body. So that is how via pseudopodia the amoeba will absorb and take the nutrition. Then second, in Parameecium, the cell has definite shape and food is taken in at a specific spot. Food is moved to this spot by the movement of cilia, which covers the entire surface of the cell. So this is our Parameecium, and this is a structure of cilia. So via cilia they will take the food particle at a specific spot, and from there they will absorb it. So thank you for watching and learning with us. If you have any doubt, please comment down below. I'll see you in next video. Till then, keep learning, keep sharing, and don't forget to subscribe, learn yourself.